what happens when the internet's most loved creator gets betrayed. Not by his rivals, but by the people who helped him build his empire. The smiling faces, the viral challenges, the friendships that felt real, gone. In this video, we're exposing the biggest betrayals in the MrBeast universe. From loyal teammates who disappeared without warning to friendships torn apart by silence, clout, and ego. This isn't about petty drama, it's about what happens when trust turns into tension, and YouTube royalty becomes a kingdom divided. You thought MrBeast had it all. Think again. Chris Tyson wasn't just a sidekick. They were the heart of early MrBeast videos. The goofy energy, the wild stunts, the genuine friendship. From counting to 100,000 together to blowing up houses, it was always Jimmy and Chris, until it wasn't. In 2023, Chris came out as trans and began hormone replacement therapy. The internet exploded, and some celebrated, others criticized, but MrBeast stood tall, tweeting, "I'm proud of Chris. He's my friend and always will be." And for a while, that seemed true. But fans noticed something off. Chris was gone from videos. No challenges, no group shots, no chemistry. Speculation erupted. Had MrBeast quietly pushed them out? Chris didn't address it directly, but their tweets grew cryptic. People change. That's okay. Some things aren't meant to last forever. And then, silence. No official statement, no farewell, just thumbnails without Chris, and a crew that looked familiar, but felt incomplete. The absence spoke louder than any words. For years, Chris helped define the MrBeast identity. Now, they were being edited out of it. Some fans defended MrBeast, saying it was logistics or content strategy. Others felt betrayed, not by the disappearance, but by the silence. Because for a brand built on loyalty and friendship, the quiet split felt cold. Calculated? The final twist? In mid-2024, eagle-eyed viewers caught MrBeast unfollowing Chris on social media, then refollowing them days later. It was enough to confirm one thing: something broke between them, and it's never been the same since. This wasn't a drama war. This was a fracture between friends, the kind that doesn't go viral, but hurts even more. And maybe that's the most brutal betrayal of all. Not when someone stabs you in the back, but when someone you loved just stopped showing up. When Karl Jacobs joined the MrBeast crew, fans instantly fell in love. He was funny, quirky, the Gen Z wildcard who brought chaotic energy to every challenge. And for a while, he was the golden boy. Front and center in thumbnails, featured in merch, loved by millions. But then, the backlash began. It started slow. Some fans said Karl was ruining the vibe of the group. Others accused him of making everything about himself. Then, old clips resurfaced. Karl had appeared on controversial streamer Ice Poseidon's platform, a space known for racism and toxicity. Even though Karl apologized, it was too late. The internet had already labeled him problematic. MrBeast stayed silent, but fans noticed Karl's screen time dropped. He showed up less in the biggest videos, and when he did, he was often off to the side, no longer the centerpiece. Karl leaned hard into the Minecraft world, forming his own fan base. He became a star in his own right, streaming, collabing, building his brand far beyond MrBeast. Some called it growth, others called it disloyal, and while Jimmy never addressed it publicly, the distance was obvious. Karl's rise created friction between fans, between teammates, maybe even behind the scenes, because when someone gets too big for the crew that made them famous, you start to wonder if they ever plan to stay. Sometimes the downfall isn't a scandal. It's a spotlight that moves just far enough to leave a shadow. Karl Jacobs didn't attack MrBeast. He didn't leave in flames, but he did what many fans saw as betrayal. He chose a different audience and left the one that made him a star. Jake Franklin, or better known as Jake the Viking, was a fan favorite in the early MrBeast days. Big beard, big energy, big loyalty. Whether it was standing in a circle for hours or surviving extreme weather challenges, Jake was always in the thick of it. He wasn't just a crew member, he was family. And then he vanished. No goodbye video, no send-off, just gone. Fans flooded the comments. Where's Jake? Did he quit? Why isn't he in the new uploads? For months there was silence. Then finally, on his own channel, Jake broke it. In a video titled "Why I Left MrBeast," Jake explained it all. He didn't trash Jimmy, he didn't spill secrets, but between the lines, you could hear the truth. It just wasn't the same anymore. Sometimes you have to walk away from something, even if it's great, for your own sanity. He hinted at burnout, pressure, losing control over the kind of content he wanted to make. He wanted creative freedom, a life beyond challenges and prize money. The internet praised him for his honesty, but the emotional wound was clear. He had been a part of something massive, and he walked away with nothing but memories. No reunion, no future collabs, just distance. Not every betrayal is loud. Sometimes it's the silence that says everything. Jake didn't betray MrBeast with drama, but the way he was phased out and the way fans were left in the dark, it felt like a betrayal of us all. Not all betrayals come from the screen. Some come from behind the camera. Matt Turner was one of MrBeast's earliest editors, part of the team responsible for turning chaos into viral gold. But in 2019, Turner walked away, and what followed was explosive. He accused MrBeast of running a toxic work environment. In interviews, Matt said he was pushed to work 12 to 18-hour days, was yelled at for tiny mistakes, and had his edits scrapped without reason. He'd call me by names, degrade my work, and never explain what he wanted, Turner claimed. The internet was split. Some fans defended MrBeast. Others believed the editor who helped build the empire, but the damage was done. A second ex-employee, Nate Anderson, echoed the claims, calling Jimmy emotionally taxing and unreasonable. MrBeast finally responded, tweeting, "Only 2 people have come forward out of hundreds who've worked with me. That should say everything." It was short, dismissive, and for many, not enough. The betrayal wasn't just about how someone was treated, it was about the image. MrBeast had built a brand on kindness, generosity, and treating others well. Now that brand had cracks. The moment your team becomes replaceable is the moment your empire stops feeling human. Matt didn't want revenge, he just wanted recognition, and when he didn't get it, he exposed the side of MrBeast the audience wasn't supposed to see. There was a time when every MrBeast thumbnail felt like a family photo. Chris, Carl, Chandler, Jake, faces the audience grew up with, but around 2022, something shifted. The thumbnails started looking different. Logan Paul, KSI, Dream, Sidemen, massive names, massive views, and slowly the old crew faded. Chris disappeared, Jake was already gone. Even Chandler and Carl started showing up less. In their place, influencers with bigger followings, more brand appeal. To the algorithm, it made perfect sense, but to loyal fans, it felt like a betrayal. MrBeast wasn't just expanding, he was replacing. And it wasn't just the on-camera team. Behind the scenes, he launched MrBeast Studios, a global machine with content in Spanish, Hindi, and more. The mission, scale the brand across the planet. Admirable, ambitious, strategic. But fans asked the question nobody wanted to ask. Is MrBeast still Jimmy, or just a CEO now? The collabs got flashier, the content got bigger, but the soul, that weird, scrappy, loyal crew energy was gone. He didn't betray his friends with a scandal, he just left them behind in pursuit of something bigger. Sometimes the harshest betrayal doesn't come from enemies, it comes from success. MrBeast didn't collapse, he didn't fall from grace, but the people around him, they disappeared, one by one, sometimes with silence, sometimes with shade, sometimes with scars they weren't allowed to talk about. Chris faded after a personal transformation, Carl got bigger and drifted further. Jake left without burning bridges, but not without bruises. Editors spoke out, then vanished, and the original crew replaced by stars with clout, cameras, and contracts. There was no meltdown, no dramatic breakup, just the slow, quiet death of something real. MrBeast isn't the villain, but he's no longer just the guy giving away Teslas with his best friends. He's a billion-dollar brand now, and in that world, friendships are fragile, because at the end of the day, loyalty doesn't scale, and the most brutal betrayals, they don't happen on camera, they happen in the edits, in the silence, in the moments when someone stops being in the thumbnail and no one ever explains why. If you made it this far, tell me in the comments, which betrayal hurt the most? Who do you miss in the MrBeast universe? And if you want more deep dives into the people behind the internet's biggest faces, subscribe, because this isn't the only empire with cracks beneath the gold.